Up next, Ruben celebrates our varsity victory on Soccerholics.
Hello, you are watching Soccerholics, the show that covers football all the way from campus to Camp Nou. Today I'm joined by an amazing panel. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Ben. I support Everton. I'm a goalkeeper for James College Football Club.
Hi, I'm Jack. I support Newcastle and I'm a centre midfielder for James College Football Club.
Hi, I'm Harry. I support Liverpool. I'm central midfielder as well for James College.
And thank you so much for joining us, guys. Should we jump into a few football-based games?
Absolutely.
Let's go for it. So this is on your headline. You should be familiar with it, but pretty much a headline will come up. Bit of it will be covered out, and you guys have to do your best at guessing the rest of the headline.
Sure.
If you guess it, you score a point. Simple enough?
Simple.
Let's go for it.
Is it just shout out if you know?
Just shout out if you know. So what's the best league in England? The ... of course.
Barclays?
No.
Championship.
Championship. It is in fact the Championship. Yeah, this is the article that the Championship is the best league in England.
True. It's true.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been there enough, haven't you?
Wow.
Anyone else thoughts on this?
As a Newcastle fan, I'd maybe somewhat agree. I think it's a great league and you get some exciting games in the Championship.
Yeah, and any thoughts?
I was going to say sounds exciting as well, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like this article has come out at such a bad time because this is the first time in so long that we've actually got a 3-horse title race. Well, it's looking like it will be. So, you know, if they throw out this article maybe like a few years ago and, you know, City are obviously going to win, but it's looking contested. Anyway, we'll move on to the next headline. Liverpool versus Man City. Erling Haaland says Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't know how something feels. This was breaking the news. Any ideas? Winning. Not quite. Linked to winning.
Losing.
Nope.
Oh.
Trophies?
Almost.
The treble.
Yes. Doesn't know how the treble feels. So that's 1 point there and 1 point there. It's getting heated.
That's funny because he's a Liverpool fan as well.
We'll move on. Manchester United assessing someone as potential Erik ten Hag successor.
Southgate.
It is in fact Southgate. What do we think of this? Southgate?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No, I don't think he's a club manager. I think he's an international.
I think he's in general a great manager.
Yeah.
So
He's best at bringing players together, I think tactically, so he's not as good. So, yeah, better as a national team manager.
We're already talking about Erik ten Hag's successor. Is this too early? Does he need more time?
I think he's got until the end of the season. I think if they don't finish top 4, perhaps, you know, as an Everton fan, you know, we've struggled with managers, so I'd say give him more time, but I know a few United fans who are getting a bit sick of it. It's just repetitive, you know.
I think last year he did a very underrated job though. They got to the FA Cup final, lost to City, they won the Carabao Cup, and they finished in the top 4, yeah. So I think he did a great job last year that was actually quite underappreciated.
It's a big project. I think always give managers time. Like Pochettino needs time, Ten Hag needs time.
Poch needs time.
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Years and years for me.
I mean, it worked with Arteta. Well, we say that. Yeah.
Working, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about York varsity victory. So, you guys, you were on the bench.
I was on the bench.
Yeah, and you both played.
Yeah.
Tell me initial thoughts.
Brilliant win.
Yeah,
Brilliant
I mean, it's the first time. Obviously, we played in the last 3 years. This is the first time we've won. So yeah, it was a great result.
Yeah, I think that just the velocity of the game. It's a massive game, you know, for the club, for the ones especially. You know, last year our 2s went to varsity, not our 1s. So you know, it's big for the boys, and you know, like just the atmosphere in the dressing room from like the second we got in was just like so focused. Like you could tell there was no way that we were going to lose that game.
Any other thoughts?
Keeks?
Oh, well, my first year, so didn't know how I was going to feel, but it was just brilliant. First minute to the last, it was so good.
And I think playing at home as well. Obviously, last year it was away, and there wasn't really that many people there. It was felt like a bit like just another game. Whereas this year we had it at home, had a massive crowd down on the athletics track pitch. It was brilliant atmosphere, and just a great game to be a part of.
Obviously, 1-0 down. How did you find the motivation to sort of make that comeback?
I think that we didn't start very well. First 15-20 minutes, they were definitely on top, and I think. Yeah, after we went 1-0 down, we then became the better team, and we just didn't drop our heads. Stayed focused. Knew that if we played well, we could beat them, and that's what we did. Like we were ever since they scored, we were a better team, and from that moment on, we dominated the game.
It felt like the moment you could get the ball on the floor, that was where the best football came.
I mean, the pitch didn't make it easy. If we're being honest, you know, we're used to playing on the 3G every single week, and so it was quite something. But you know, once, as you say, the ball was on the floor, having a midfield of these two, and then you've got 2 or 3 others who are real good ball players. They just ran the game, and watching from the sideline, you could tell how much they grew into it, and eventually just persisting, grabbed the goal, and then went on to win it.
Yeah. Well, if you missed it, first off, where were you? But anyway, let's have a look at the highlights. Let's see what happened.
And they're going to attack on the wings.
Shot in low here, and a neat save from Tyler Kelly. You've got to say Tyler Kelly has really been tested more so than Collingwood's goalkeeper this afternoon in the early stages. Ball poked through to Jack Allen. Is he going to shape to shoot? He is. Decent try, and wide it goes. It's up towards Ollie Parr, and he might be in behind if James Swansea does get there. Decent first touch. How about the finish? No, it's a strong challenge. Flick on from Harry Keegan. It might fall for Max Norman. He flicks it across the box. It's Luke Ellison. Keeper makes a save. Dropped right before his body. Through ball which is dealt with initially. And then Tyler Kelly's clearance is deflected against an attacker. Ball's right in front of the box. Right in front of the goal, I should say, rather. And a great piece of defending there.
Now they've got a corner here.
Header. And in!
Yeah, this is what we were saying earlier. If you challenge the keeper from those crosses, you get on the keeper, it's gonna make it difficult for him.
Pass there into Bradley Wood. What a ball! Bradley Wood now bearing down on the Collingwood attacker, and a very strong challenge.
Oh, he's
lost possession,
it
and it's into Bradley Wood, and it's a fantastic save with the keeper's feet. Might drop for Connor Atwood, who fires it just wide.
Brilliant piece of feet.
Left to
Gets
right.
into the box.
Bradley Wood around his markers, and
Yes!
in!
And it's a goal.
And it's that
man. Who else would it have been?
Goes behind. And that will signal half-time in the final fixture of College Varsity 2024. Oh, keeper seems to miss it! And it's gone in, but the referee has called play back. It appears that he signalled for a foul on the goalkeeper. Into the penalty area from the cross. It's not cleared. It's Jack Allen.
Shot deflected.
Deflectors wide. Max Norman, has he kept that in play? Yes, he has. Referee. And Max Norman will continue on and score! Brilliant!
Yeah,
What a finish!
He didn't stop. He kept going. He made such good work of the ball from Tyler Kelly, and he scored a really wonderful goal.
Bradley Wood, scorer of James's first goal this evening. Low cross and a flick, and wide it goes. Every touch from Max Norman is in on him in a flash, and it's a similar picture. Oh,
He's taken down.
It's
and
a
he
red.
is off.
It's
no
a red
surprise.
card. And decent control, but communication just broke down there. And there is it!
Full-time whistle.
The full-time whistle sounds here on the Athletics track pitch.
Yeah.
And what a piece of entertainment it was, provided by James and Collingwood. The final fixture of College Varsity 2024 has finished. It was a enthralling experience, and a very good watch for the neutral, a very good watch for myself and James Bridges here on commentary. It has finished. James 2, Collingwood 1.
There we go. Boys, after watching that back, do you have any further thoughts?
Good memories. Yeah,
Good
it's always nice watching a good win. Speaking to these guys, the Durham boys are really sound as well. Speaking on the sideline, that obviously losing wasn't great for them, but they were saying if we could stick around for a pint with you, it would be great too. And I think that shows how the respect between us and them, and we have played them. What is it, 2 or 3 years now in a row? So there is sort of not a friendship, but like a rivalry, a respected rivalry. I don't know what
I was going to follow on from that. I think it was a bit tough on them coming down here and playing on not the best pitch, but they were on the pitch. They were great to play against. They weren't. Yeah, it was a fairly contested game, I'd say. And just to prove how much we loved the game, after we played the game, we finished at about 7. Then we had prees to go out to Revs at about 8, and we watched the game back on the TV with everyone in the living room. So we've already watched it a couple of times, but.
Good to hear. Any further thoughts?
Yeah, it was good. Apparently when James went up to Durham last year, they got like a nice 3G. They come down here, playing on athletic track, 2 games of having it before, so the pitch was so cut up.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Obviously, in terms of context of the varsity on the whole, York had pretty much already won. I think by half time it was confirmed. Did you guys hear about that on the pitch, or is it sort of you have to win this?
To be honest, with that ones team, it doesn't matter any situation they're in. It's always like we've got to win this regardless of what's happening around us. And of course it was varsity, of course it's big for the university, but to us it was just another game that we had to win. It's just that mindset of this is just a game that we're going to win. And
finally, a few questionable officiating decisions. Do you think next year college varsity you'd like to see linesmen?
I mean, they had it last year. They had linesmen last year,
okay, yeah.
But it's weird because you have some refs who they'll have linesmen, but they won't use them. They'll just say you're just doing ins and out, which is of course helpful in this case with that goal. But for offsides and fouls, ideally yes, 2 qualified linesmen, yes, but I'm not going to say that because we won 2-1 off a goal that probably shouldn't have been allowed.
But then again, that disallowed goal.
Still a great finish.
Yeah,
still a great finish.
Yeah.
No, and we had the one disallowed, didn't we?
And we had the one disallowed.
Maybe shouldn't have been disallowed. So, on the in fairness, it was probably a fair result.
Yeah.
But
I feel if you've got 300-400 people watching a game, there's going to be 2 linesmen that are going to be half decent and willing to win the game. So.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Anyway, we'll move on to the dream team. But before we move on, congratulations all of you.
Thank you very much.
All you have played a great part in that.
Yeah,
we'll move on to Dream Team. So, when I was pitching this show to Wise TV, we seemed to have a bit of a discussion about the fact that not everyone is a huge fan of football, which is fair enough. I mean, a bit weird, but fair enough. So, to sort of work around that, we made Dream Team, which is where you guys have to pitch your players, someone who doesn't like football. And here we are. Marks. Hello, Marks. How are you?
I am right. Thank you for having me.
Can you explain what a regista is?
A what now?
No, okay, right, that's fine. So this is Marks, and you
Marks.
guys are going to have to pitch your players to Marks to make it through to the Dream Team. So we'll start off with advanced midfield. Well, this is the Dream Team so far, actually.
Good team.
What do we think?
Great team.
Any
Very
shockers
good.
in there, or are we all happy?
Doherty at left back. He's a good player, to be fair.
No,
I
he's
rate him.
great,
He's a very good player.
I think he went up against Shaw and Adogi, so
Udogi's good as well, yeah.
it was a good battle on that one. But we'll move on to advanced midfielder, and we'll start off with Harry's pick.
Okay, so Ross Barkley playing in newly promoted Luton. He's got to be Luton's best player. He's mainly played as a number 8 central midfielder, but he does not lose the ball in possession. And to add to that, he gets forward, gets in and around the box, gets goals and assists as well. So if Luton stay up this season, which is looking kind of likely, he's going to be a big part of it.
Marks, any questions about that?
I'll probably wait for each of them to pitch and then possibly come back.
Tactical, I like it. Let's move on. Ben.
So this is Phil Foden. He is I wouldn't say a youngster anymore, he's a pretty established player in a treble-winning Man City team, so they won 3 trophies last year. He plays in the central midfielder role, but he can also play out on the wing as well. He's got, I think it's 11 goals and 6 assists this season, which is good, especially considering that their best player, Man City's best player, Kevin De Bruyne, has been injured, so he sort of carried that weight. He's also scored, I think it's something, he's got 6 goal involvements in 5 games in the Champions League, which is obviously like the pinnacle of European football. So yeah, he's my pick because of just the way he's carried himself this season.
Someone's done the homework. Wow.
What can I say?
Move on to Jack's pick.
Yeah, so I've gone with Martin Ødegaard from Arsenal, and I think he's similar to Ross Barkley of Luton. He's Arsenal's main man. He's their captain. I think he's only 24, 25 years of age, so very young to be captain at such a big club. I think if you look back to last season, at the end of the season when Arsenal started to struggle a bit, he was the person they looked to every time for a bit of inspiration. He always carries them forward on the ball, very positive player, always playing on the half turn. And yeah, I think he's just taken on a massive responsibility to be captain at Arsenal. And obviously they're doing very well, like in the title race. And yeah, I think I'd say he's the second best attacking midfielder in the league behind Kevin De Bruyne.
Behind Phil Foden.
Interesting. Harry and Jack, I think you kind of alluded to this. What team were they in before were each of you was in before the current one? How did they do there?
So Ross Barkley didn't have the most successful time in the Premier League. A little bit of a failed spell at Chelsea, but he has revived his career at, I think he went to a French club, was it? I don't know, some French club, and then he revived his club revived his career at Luton.
So Martin Odegaard was actually picked up by Real Madrid when he was about 15 or 16, and they signed him for quite a lot of money for someone of that age. Then it didn't quite work out from there. Obviously, it's probably the hardest place to go as a youngster. And then I think he initially signed for Arsenal on loan, and then he did very well there. And he's probably only been there 2 or 3 seasons, and obviously he's been named club captain, so I think that speaks volumes of how he is as a player, and maybe more importantly, how he is as a person off the pitch.
I think I'm gonna have to go with him then, just because he's been built up. From the sounds of it, from how he pitched it, it sounds like he's been sort of built up over the years and has that pedigree. So I think knowing nothing about not knowing half of the words that you used, but it sounds like he knows what he's going to do on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think he's very good off the pitch as well as on the pitch. So
Yeah. So I believe we're all tied. Is that a point each? Because it was a point for headlines,
Yeah.
a point there. So we're all tied at striker. Are we ready? Mm-hmm. Let's go for Harry's pick.
Okay, so shock, the Liverpool fans gone for Núñez, but when he first came in, didn't quite find his feet, a lot of wasted opportunities, but this season he has been so clinical. On Thursday, scoring 2 goals, granted in the Europa League, but he just shoots, and every time he shoots it goes in. He's averaging over a goal and assist per 90 minutes this season, which is up there with the very best in the Premier League. And on form, he is just unbelievable. He makes runs that no one else does, that creates so much space for him and other players on the team. So for me, he's my dream team pick.
Ben?
Ollie Watkins. So Ollie Watkins plays for Aston Villa. He has become their main man after starting off pretty slowly, the past few seasons. He's got 25 goal involvements in the league, including, I think he was the first player to 10 assists, which as a striker, you're not really meant to be assisting the goals, you're meant to be scoring them. Having said that, he has also scored 16 goals, so it's pretty impressive. He came from, he's risen up the leagues of English League football. He was at Brentford, he was at Exeter City, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So he's come up all the ranks. He now he's broken into the England squad as well. So hopefully at the Euros this year he can do us proud there. And yeah, he's my pick just because of what he's doing in an Aston Villa team that was in 17th last year and are now pushing for Champions League football this year. So I think that's mainly down to him.
Convincing argument. Let's move on. Jack?
Yeah, so I've gone for Rasmus Højlund from Manchester United, and I think he signed for big money at the start of the season in the summer, and he's still, again, very young. I think he might be 20 or 21. And I'd say striker at Man United is probably one of, if not the hardest position to play, like in English football, because there's so much pressure to score goals. And think about all the people that have played that position in the past, like some of the best players that have ever played the game have played up front for Man United. And he didn't start very well this season. He got a lot of critics. There was a lot of pressure to score goals. He wasn't scoring goals. However, in the last maybe month or two, he started to find his feet. He's now got 12 goal contributions this season, and he was recently named the February Player of the Month for the whole league. So I think if that doesn't say enough, then yeah.
Again, you've made this really difficult. I think, unfortunately, Jack, I'm gonna have to rule yours out just because it sounds to me like he's still sort of getting there, whereas it sounds like the others are slightly more established. I think you made this difficult. I'm going to go with Ben's pick, and what sold it for me was the England squad, because I feel like that's possibly one of the harder tests that you're going to see.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, we'll have to see how he does, but that if he can make England squad work, then that is a vote of confidence, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And, obviously it's a lot of pressure playing for England. So, like I said, I hope he does do well because we could do with him in the Euros. Yeah.
Well, there we go. It seems like you are the winner.
Get in. Cheers for coming, boys. Thanks for coming.
Any
No, just
winning
a great game to play. Having to actually think about why you like a player. It gives that a whole new dimension to it, rather than just saying, "Oh yeah, he's good because he's good." Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And Marks, what did you think altogether? Do you feel like you've learned anything about football?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, scores on the doors. I think it was 2-1.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well done.
Cheers, boys.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you all for coming on, and thank you, Marks, for being our officiator.
Thanks for having me.
And you've been watching Soccerholics. one last thing actually before we go away. If you have any hot takes, drop them down in the comments because next time we will be reacting to them. But anyway, thank you very much and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Something else.